are doing good at home? Fine. What are we going to see today? Do you all have any idea? Yes. Before we enter into our class, let's have some activity. Okay. Now, I'll show you some parts. I want you to say me the difference for it. See this? What's this? This is Y. And this is also Y. Both gives us same sound, right? This is Y. This is also Y. But the meaning differs. Whether this Y and this Y gives the same meaning? No. This is a preposition and this Y is purchasing things. So while purchasing things, we used to say that I'm buying this, I'm buying that, right? So both uses the same sound but gives a different meaning. Buy and buy. Next, see this? New and no, the same sound but different meaning. This no is saying no to something, disagreeing something, and this no is saying yes to something, which means that I know this, I know that, which means agreeing something that we know. And next one, see this? What is this? I. This I is myself, and this I is part of the body, right? But both gives us the same sound. So, did you get the idea that what are we going to see today? Yes, of course, we are going to see homophones and homonyms. Let's see what's homophones and what's homonyms. Now, let's move on to homophones first. A word that is spelled different but pronounced the same as another word and differs in meaning. Let me read again. A word that is spelled different but pronounced the same as another word and differs in meaning, right? So now, as I said you, see this, what is homophones? A word that is spelled different. Both the words spellings are different. A word that is spelled different. This I is having a different spelling, this I is having a different spelling. And pronounced the same, but both uses the same sound. This is also I, this is also I. And differs in meaning. What is the meaning of this I? This is a part of the body. What's the meaning of this I? This is myself. Did you understand now? A word that is spelled different but pronounced the same and differs in meaning. Okay? A word that is spelled different but pronounced same and differs in meaning. Did you understand now? Okay. So let's see some examples. First one, two. T-O-O, T-O-O. And the next one, two. Both uses the same sound. Two. Answer for this is, first two, T-O-O. What is the meaning of this? Her shoes are too small, which means so small. Her shoes are so small, very small. What's the meaning of this two? This is a numeric letter. So she has two pencils. How many pencils she has? She has two pencils. This mentions the number and this mentions that so or very. So this two means her shoes are too small. This two means she has two pencils. And we have one more example, that is new and new. New and new. Okay, what's the spelling of this new? K-N-E-W. This new is N-E-W. Both uses the same sound but spelling is different and meaning is also different. What's the meaning of this new? That we knew something, agreeing that we knew something. Naveen knew to speak Spanish. Naveen knows to speak Spanish. So in past tense is given Naveen knew to speak Spanish. Spanish is a language. So what's the meaning of this new? Brand new, which means Naveen bought a new bag. Naveen bought a new bag. K-N-E-W and N-E-W. Here T-O-O and T-W-O. T-W-O, T-O-O and T-W-O. Let's see once again. Homophones, what's homophones? A word that is spelled different but pronounced the same as another word and differs in meaning. Examples, two and two. This two meaning is her shoes are too small. T-double-O. This two meaning is she has two pencils. T-W-O. Here new. K-N-E-W-N-E-W. This new is saying something that we know. Naveen knew to speak Spanish. This new, Naveen got a new bag pen. Now we have seen homophones. What do we have to see more? We need to see homonyms. There is a differentiation. There is a slight differentiation between homophones and homonyms. Let me say, what is this? Well, do we have any more word? Do we have more meanings for this word? Yes, of course. One is a source of water. That is well. The same thing. Well, right. Then another word is I'm doing well, which means I'm doing healthy, in good health. So single word, same sound, but differs in meaning. Single word, same sound, but differs in meaning. And the next word is watch. First, watch is to look at something. W-A-T-C-H. Watch is to look at something. And the other word is watch. See, whatever here, watch. This watch. So, same sound, same word, but differs in meaning. Here we have got in homophones, we have got same sound, but different word, different meaning. Same sound, different word, different meaning. Here we have got same sound, same spelling, but different in meaning. Same sound, same spelling, same word, but different in meaning. Let's see, you have got to know what is homonyms. Just see the definition of it. Homonyms, H-O-M-O-N-Y-M-S, homonyms. A word that is spelled and pronounced the same as I said you. A word that is spelled and pronounced the same. Spelling is different, pronunciation is different, which means sound is spelling is same, pronunciation is same, which means sound is same. A word that is spelled and pronounced the same as another word but has a different meaning. So this well has two meanings. One is in good health and other is source of water. So let's see some other examples. First one is fly. As soon as you hear this word, what do you all remember? Fly is an insect. Yes, fly is an insect with 6 legs, right? And other word is, we say that birds flying in the sky, right? So birds fly in the sky. So the first one is fly is an insect with 6 legs. So same word, same meaning, same pronunciation, different in meaning. Same word, same pronunciation, but different in meaning. Fly is an insect with 6 legs. Here the next meaning is birds fly in the sky. And then one more example we have, that is book. Book. What is a book? Yes, this is a book, right? This is a book. What's the another book here? So please book a cab for me. Booking is for traveling somewhere. We will pre-register our booking, right? Pre-register our traveling, right? So that is, please book a cab for me. Traveling somewhere, traveling to some places. Booking in train, booking in cab, booking in something, booking in airplane, whatever. So please book a cab for me. This is one meaning. And the next meaning is I like story books. So I like story books. This fly is an insect with 6 legs. Birds fly in the sky. Next one, book is, please book a cab for me. I like story books. Did you all understand? So what's homonyms? A word that is spelled and pronounced the same as another word but has a different meaning. Examples are fly. Fly is an insect with 6 legs. Birds fly in the sky. Book. Please book a cab for me. I like story books. So let's see from the beginning. Homophones. What's the difference? Homophone is both differs in spelling. Both differs in spelling, but same sound, different meaning. Different spelling, different meaning, but same sound. Different spelling, different meaning, but same sound. Here, same sound, same word, but different different meaning. Same word, same sound, but different meaning. Did you all understand? Okay, shall we all do the exercise which is given in your page number 7. In your page number, take your page number 7 in your English textbook. You will have this exercise in the book. Let's do this. So, it's regarding the chapter that we are seeing now, that is homophones and homonyms. So, the first, fill in the blanks with the correct answers given in brackets. In brackets, you are given 2 words. You are given 2 words. You need to choose the right word from the brackets given. So, first one, dash. Rohan, there were many other boys participating in the debate. What's the answer for this? Besides or beside? Of course it is besides. What's the answer? Besides. B-I-B-E-S-I-D-E-S. B-E-S-I-D-E-S. This is the answer. Right. Next one. Mala did not listen to her mother's what? Advice. Both gives the same sound. See this? Both gives the same sound but differs in spelling. A-D-B-I-S-E, A-D-B-I-C-E. What must be the word? The word is A-D-B-I-C-E. A-D-B-I-C-E. Advice. Mala didn't listen to her mother's advice. The next one. He laid dash to Chittoor. Siege or siege. He laid siege or siege to Chittoor. Siege. Attack. S-E-I-G-E. S-E-I-G-E. Attacking. So he laid siege to Chittoor. Next one. The police dash their weapons. Seized or seized. Captured. Meaning is captured. So the answer is S-I-E-Z-E-D. The answer is S-I-E-Z-E-D. The police seized their weapons. The next one. She had achieved an impossible feat. The answer is F-E-A-T. The answer is F-E-A-T. She had achieved an impossible feat. And the next one, a dash of Turks was hiding in the woods. The options which are given is troop, T-R-O-U-P-E, and then next word is troop, T-R-O-O-P. So the answer is T-R-O-O-P, troop of Turks, soldiers of Turks. Next one, after years, Y-E-A-R-S or E-A-R-S, years of hard work, he finally reached his goals. So, what's the word? Years. Y-E-A-R-S. After years, Y-E-A-R-S, after years of hard work, he finally reached his goals. And the last one, there was a dash rejoicing in the Rajput camp after the victory. Happiness. It mentions about the happiness. How jolly they were. So, G-R-A-T-E or G-R-E-A-T. The answer is G-R-E-A-T. Great. Here, yes, this true. So, there was a great rejoicing in the Rajput camp after the victory. Did you all understand? Hope you all are clear with homophones and homonyms. I want you to complete page number 7, the exercises that we have seen now. Next, we have something different to see, that is phrases. Okay, phrases. Let us see what is phrase. A phrase is a group of words in a sentence with a need to say something but with no subject and predicate, that is verb. Which means verb within the group. A phrase is a group of words in a sentence with a need to say something but with no subject and predicate. Predicate is the words that comes after the subject. Verb within the group. Example. Okay, so phrase is group of words, something which is in the group of words, but there will be no subject and no verb. There will be no subject and predicate with it, but that gives us a meaning. Here, let's see some examples. The vehicle is halted near a tree. The vehicle is halted near a tree. See this, halted near a tree. The vehicle is standing near a tree. So, see, this is the phrase here. Halted near a tree is a phrase here. So, this has no subject and a predicate in it. This has no subject and a predicate in it. The next sentence, the sun rises in the east. Which is the phrase here? In the east. So, the subject is the sun, verb is rises. Here, the vehicle is the subject and this is the verb. And leaving this, the next word comes is the phrase. Here, leaving the subject and verb, the next word comes in the east. This doesn't have a subject within it. There is no verb also. So, this is a phrase with a need to say something in the east. It mentions that in the east, mentioning something. Halted near a tree. Need to say something. Something that the vehicle is halted near. Something is halted near a tree. Okay. Shall we do the exercise now? So, what's a phrase? A phrase is a group of words in a sentence with a need to say something but with no subject and a predicate within the group. Examples are, the vehicle is halted near a tree, the sun rises in the east. So, in the first sentence, we have halted near a tree is a phrase. Here, leaving the subject and the verb, next what comes? In the east. That is, in the east is the phrase. And both of these phrases don't have subject and verb within the group. Take page number 8 in your book. You will be having something related to phrases. So you need to complete the exercise. We write in the blanks. That is given in page number 8. Write in the blanks. So these words are the right side words are given in the box. You need to see the words and understand the meaning of it and fill in the blanks which is given down. First one, greenhorn. What is the meaning of greenhorn? Greenhorn is a phrase. What does it mean? It means that someone who is inexperienced. It means that someone who is inexperienced. So, take someone who is inexperienced from the box which is given up and write it below greenhorn. In the blanks which is given here, greenhorn. So, greenhorn is someone who is inexperienced. And the next one, the black market. The black market. What does this phrase mean? It means that illegal trading of goods in violation of official regulations. The black market, illegal trading of goods in violation of official regulations. And the next one, white elephant. White elephant. And the phrase means an object that's useless but maintaining it costs a lot. A lot of money is given in your book. An object that's useless but maintaining it costs a lot of money. The next one, blue-blooded. Meaning is someone who belongs to a royal family or a family of aristocrats. Blue-blooded, someone who belongs to a royal family or a family of aristocrats. The next one, red tape. Red tape is undue attention to rules and regulations causing delays. Red tape, undue attention to rules and regulations causing delays. Next one, sixth one is white paper. White paper. What does this phrase mean? A report issued by the government to give information, which means it is true. Which means it is true. White paper, a report issued by the government to give information. The next one, a bolt from the blue. An unexpected happening. A bolt from the blue is an unexpected happening. Next, in black and white. In black and white. That is recorded in writing. Recorded in writing. So, what's a phrase? A phrase is a group of words in a sentence with a need to say something but with no subject and a predicate in it. So, I want you to complete complete these exercises which is given in your textbook page number 8. These right side answers are given in the box in your book. You need to pick the answers from the box and write in the below section. That is green horn, the black market, white elephant, blue threaded, red tail, white paper, a ball from the blue in black and white. So filling the blanks with all these answers. See this properly and write your answers. Hope you are now clear with homophones, homonyms and phrases. Let's now move on to present tense and past tense. In present tense and past tense, the story of Rani Padmini is written in past tense and we'll have to change this passage into present tense. So this is the story of Rani Padmini. It is given in short and this is in past tense. We'll have to change this in present tense. Okay. So what's the rule for the basic rules for changing from present to past is we'll have your present to past. Be verbs am and is will be changed to was. When it is changed to past, it will be changed to was. Are will be changed to were. Has and have will be changed as had. And here, if you see, be one verb. That is verb with do form or does form. So verb or verb with s or es will be changed to be2 verb. That is be2 form means verb with ed or else the form will be changed. If we take, for example, take. If we see take, it will be changed to took. When we change to be2 form, it will be took. So the whole form is changed. That is be2 form. For example, see this. Contain. Verb with ed. Verb with ed. So that is what given here. Verb with ed or be2 form. Verb with ed is the past tense form. Or else if take change to took means that is also be2 form. Okay. So am and this will be changed to was, are, to were, has and have will be changed to had. Be1 verb will be changed to be2 verb. That is verb or verb with s or es will be changed to verb with ed or else be2 form. Okay, so see this. Rewrite the paragraph from past tense to present tense. So page number 9. In your book, page number 9, a passage is given. Take your book, page number 9, and you will be seeing this passage in your book. We will have to rewrite it. Blanks are given below the passage itself. Blanks are given below the passage itself. You will have to rewrite it, changing it into present tense. So this is given in past tense. Rewrite it into present tense. So what are the verbs will be changed to present tense? We will see in this passage. Listen here. Padmini's palanquin was carried out of the fort. Everyone thought she was an egg, but instead it held a brave Rajput boy named Badar. With them went 70 palanquins, which the Turks thought contained her women servants and jewels. But there was a Rajput soldier in each. Each palanquin was carried by 6 men who looked like coolies, but were in fact brave soldiers who had with them their swords and shields. So, Padmini's palanquin was carried as, when we go to the recap of our story, Padmini's palanquin was carried out of the fort and everyone thought that Padmini was inside the palanquin. Actually, Padmini was not inside. Instead, there was a brave Rajput boy named Badar. And with him, there were 70 palanquins went. So, with him went 70 palanquins. In those 70 palanquins, they thought that only women servants of Padmini and the jewels of Padmini was inside. But actually not. There was a Rajput soldier in each. In each palanquin, there was a Rajput soldier. Each palanquin was carried by 6 men. Not only 1 or 2, 6 men. They were looking like coolies. But they were not actually the coolies. They were in fact brave soldiers. Soldiers of Padmini's kingdom. So brave soldiers who had with them their swords and shields. They were having their swords and shields with them. Now we will have to find out all the past tense verbs, all the past verbs from this passage and how to change it in present verb. So find this. Padmini's palanquin was carried. Was is a past verb. Here everyone thought. She was in it. And instead it held. And here within went 70 palanquins went. Turks thought. Thought is a past verb. Contain is a past verb. Here was is a past verb. Was, looked, were, had. Okay. So now we are going to change this into present tense. Padmini's palanquin was carried out of the fort. Was. So see here, I told you from present tense to past tense. Take it in a reverse manner. Past tense to present. Was is given. So it should be am or is. So here, Padmini's palanquin. Padmini's palanquin is a singular form. So it's given is. Okay. So was is changed to is. Padmini's palanquin is carried out of the fort. Padmini's palanquin is carried out of the fort. And then next here, everyone thought she was in it, but instead it held a brave Rajput boy named Bedal. See here, everyone thought. Thought. What is the V1 form of thought? V1 verb of thought is think. So here, everyone, it comes in singular form. So we write thinks. Everyone thinks she was. Instead of was, we write here is. Past verb is was and the present verb is. She is in it, but instead it holds a brave Rajput boy named Bedal. See here what's given? Held. Past tense is held and the present form of that is V1 form of held is hold. Since it is singular form, we are mentioning holds. So instead it holds a brave Rajput boy named Bedal. With him go 70 palanquins, which the Turks think contain her women servants and jewels. Here was given with him went. What's the present form of went? Present verb of went is go. And present verb of thought is think. Here it's given Turks. Turks is plural form. So we are mentioning things. So think. Okay. Here we mention things because everyone we take it into we take it under singular. So here we mention things. Here it is given Turks. Turks is plural form. So plural form comes with think. Only think. And contain. Here contained is given. Verb plus ed is given. So present is verb or verb with es or es. Here think contain her women servants and jewels. But there is the Rajput soldiers in each. So was is changed to is. But there is the Rajput soldier in each. Each palanquin instead of was it's given is here. And by 6 men who looked like coolies. Here we change to look like. Verb with ed was given in past tense. And we are taking only the present verb here, that is look. Who look like coolies but are in fact brave soldiers. It was given here where. Where present form is are. See here where present form is are. So are in fact brave soldiers who have with them. Here it is given had. Present form of had is has or have. If it is singular has, if it is plural have. Here we have plural soldiers, brave soldiers, plural form. So who have with them their swords and shields. Padmini's palanquin is carried out of the fort. Everyone thinks she is in it, but instead it holds a brave Rajput boy named Bedal. With him go 70 palanquins, which the Turks think contain her women servants and jewels. But there is a Rajput soldier in each. Each palanquin is carried by 6 men who look like coolies but are in fact brave soldiers who have with them their swords and shields. Okay, you will have to remember the rules, that is when you change from present to past, and in the reverse form when you change from past to present. So only with the rules you can write everything. Okay, so take your book, take page number 9, complete this passage. This passage is given in your book. Just see this and complete this passage, changing the past tense to present form. So by seeing this, you will have to write the answer in your book. Okay, children. So we have completed homophones, homonyms, and we have completed phrase, and we have covered past to present tense. Now we are moving on to conjunctions, that is combining two sentences using so and that. For seeing conjunctions, we have two words here, so and that. So using these two words, we are going to combine two sentences. So we can combine two clauses that show a cause and effect relationship. Okay, so and that. These are subordinate conjunctions. So see this. Combine the following pairs of sentences using so and that. So in your book, pages 9 and 10. Okay, pages 9 and 10. Take your book, take page number 9 now. Combine the following pairs of sentences using so that. So clauses are given. What are clauses? Clauses are a group of words which is fulfilled and gives us a proper meaning. It is giving a meaning independently. So here you have two sentences. Actually I have written from 2 to 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have started from 2. The reason I didn't write 1 here is 1 has been already done for you in your book itself. Take page number 9 and check. 1 has been already done for you in your book itself. So we are continuing with 2. Okay. So second one. He was tired. He went to bed early. So he was tired is a separate sentence and he went to bed early is a separate sentence. Both are different clauses. He was tired is a clause. He went to bed early is a clause. The reason why is it called a clause? He was tired. He was tired. Someone is tired. So it is giving us meaning. So it is called as clause. He went to bed early. This is also giving a meaning. So this is called as clause. When we combine these two sentences using so that, how do we do? Let's see. So he was tired. He went to bed early. When we write, we need to write the same thing. He was in before tired. He was tired. So before tired, we need to add so. So he was so tired. And before joining this sentence with the first sentence. So when we join these two sentences, after this word tired, immediately he starts. So before this he, what do we have to do? Before this he, what do we have to do? We have to add a conjunction. Conjunction word that. Conjunction word that. So he was so tired. And we are joining this sentence with this one and we are adding conjunction that, and then we continue here that he went to bed early. When we continue this sentence, this capital H will become small h here. Okay, so when we are changing the sentence, capital will become small since it is a continuing sentence. So he was tired. He went to bed early. When we combine these two sentences, he was so tired that he went to bed early. Next one. He was clever. He didn't have to study at all. He was clever. He was clever. He didn't have to study at all as a separate sentence. We need to combine these two sentences. He was so clever. After the verb, what's given? Clever. So he was so clever, and we are joining the sentence here that H is changed to small. He didn't have to study at all. Okay. He was so clever that he didn't have to study at all. Third one. He was clever. He didn't have to study at all. So when we change it, he was so clever. After the verb, what's given? Clever. So before the clever, we add so. He was so clever, and we are adding that here. He was so clever that he didn't have to study at all. The next one. Rani Padmini was really beautiful. Alauddin Khilji wanted to marry her. Rani Padmini was very beautiful. Alauddin Khilji wanted to marry her. So here a word is given very beautiful. When we change it, listen, when we change it, we will take out the word very. So Rani Padmini was so beautiful. As usual, we add so here, but we take out the word very. Rani Padmini was so beautiful that Alauddin Khilji wanted to marry her. As I said you, after that start the sentence with small letter I said you, but here it's a name. It's a noun, name of a person. So I have started with capital A. Next one. Vedal was so brave, he didn't mind sacrificing his life. So the answer is Vedal was so brave that he didn't mind sacrificing his life. Vedal was so brave that he didn't mind sacrificing his life. Next one, sixth one. The Rajputs fought bravely. The enemies couldn't capture the fort. Answer is the Rajputs fought so brave. So here it's given bravely. When we change it, it's brave, just brave. So the Rajputs fought so brave that the enemies couldn't capture the fort. Next one. Padmini was clever. She outwitted the enemy. The reason I marked arrow here is we are adding so here and that in this arrow, right? So Padmini was so clever that she outwitted the enemy. Next one. She was ill. She couldn't go to school. Just for your reference, I added this mark. Okay. She was ill. She couldn't go to school. She was so ill that she couldn't go to school. Next one. Last one. I was busy. I couldn't attend a meeting. I was so busy. So after the verb, we add so. I was so busy that I couldn't attend the meeting. Did you all understand? So, when we combine two sentences, after the verb we add so, and before starting the next sentence we add that. And we start the sentence with small letter, not capital letter, small letter. Okay, children, go through all these. Copy it in your classwork note, which means in your book. If you don't have your book, you can copy it in your classwork note. And this is the with this, so, today's session is getting over. This is the time for your homework assignments. So for your homework assignments, complete the worksheets that are sent in WhatsApp. We'll be sending you worksheets that is from homophones, homonyms, present tense and past tense, and from this combine these passive sentences, combine passive sentences using so and that. We want you to complete the book back exercises as well as the worksheet that are sent in WhatsApp. So far we are seeing homophones, homonyms, phrases, present tense to past tense, which means changing the passage from past tense to present tense, and combining sentences using so and that. We'll meet you all with a new session. Thank you all.